Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. Now can we take a moment to appreciate how good that promo was from Bray Wyatt at Crown Jewel? Yes, there are a lot of fans that weren't happy because we didn't get any form of major reveal. However, the entrance, I had actual goosebumps, especially as his theme got towards the end and those drums kicked in. Like, is nobody talking about that? I had literal goosebumps. And then of course also little details with Bray, like when the lighting was cut between red and blue, good and evil. I love it. Absolutely love those details. And of course the Saudi fans were absolute fire. They were so into Bray. And I think Bray deep down got quite emotional as well through segments in his promo. Now talking of his promo, again this felt like the real Bray, with a sprinkle of storyline in there as well. You could see the emotion on his face from the reception from the fans, and basically said that he wanted to be the best in his family. And he felt like he was, and the fans were very receptive to that. They said, yes, you are. And again, Bray got emotional there. But he went too far. Now, firstly, I find it interesting that he brought up his family, because of course, we've been seeing lately Uncle Howdy. Of course, Uncle Ty there, yeah? Whoever Uncle Howdy is. Bringing up the fact that eventually, he went too far, hiding behind a mask. He got addicted to the power that he had behind this mask, and he pushed a lot of people away in the process as well, and that he basically doesn't want to go back there. And of course, straight up, you knew it was coming, on the screen, we see Uncle Howdy. Or do we? We saw flashes of the mask. It certainly sounded like Bray. It was definitely Bray's voice, Bray's darkest side, talking to the lighter side of Bray that we've been seeing lately as well. And this is the first time, if you watch Bray Wyatt's facial expressions when he's watching that promo, probably deep down Wyndham's going, how can I make this better? Because he's a creative genius, isn't he? So he's probably thinking that. But in kayfabe, you could see he was almost absorbing it more maybe than previous. They actually shown his reaction to and after that promo, that video. That shot we saw of Uncle Howdy, and maybe he's more captivated by it than previous times, because we've seen that split even more so on SmackDown when Bray Wyatt literally had a mini meltdown with the crew member. Like, he is getting closer to that dark side, and basically this darker entity is calling him out and going, well, you might as well join me now because it's only a matter of time. And when you do, you're going to feel good. It's going to feel powerful. You can do bad things and not feel bad for it either along the way. I thought it was very, very interesting how we saw the eyes flash up, the same eyes that we saw in the Alexa Bliss interview. We mentioned this in our last video when he said, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel good because you're going to get redemption for what happened at WrestleMania 37. Is that the tie-in? Is that the link that they go with moving forward? There's so many questions with this. But in a nutshell, Bray is going to go dark at some point and give in essentially. And Uncle Howdy is playing tricks with us. Basically said that he tricked us. What will happen when we find out the truth? Like, we're not going to like him anymore when he admits that he is still struggling and he still will give in eventually to that darker entity down the line. And that brings up so many questions with this. Is Bray going to join Uncle Howdy, join the mask? When he come out with that phrase about wearing the mask, or when you put the mask on essentially you're going to feel great again, and the aftermath, don't worry about that because you don't have to take the mask off, you don't have to deal with that. It flashed up with the Uncle Howdy that we saw a couple of weeks ago, that kind of half mask reveal, and the mask that we've been seeing since Bray's returned from Extreme Rules. So what mask will Bray be wearing? Will the Fiend ever come back? Will he wear the Fiend mask again? We don't know at this stage. I'd be all down for the Fiend coming back at some point, but I do have a feeling it's going to be something new. You got to think purely for merchandise, purely for Bray creating something new and bringing something new to our TV screens that we haven't seen before. Now, I wouldn't rule off the Fiend being a part of Bray Wyatt, but not just all this to then bring back the Fiend. Might be a little bit underwhelming. I wouldn't be against it completely, but I do kind of, in a way, want to see something new. Add the Fiend in as an extra on top of something else, maybe. That's just my take on it. That's just my feeling on it. and then Bray can take things to the next level, and whatever that may be. We know it's going to be dark. We've been seeing images of cars crashing. We've been seeing skulls, disfigured faces. Like, this is going to be the worst, most horrific thing we've ever seen for this darker entity of Bray. And we're just getting strapped in. We're just getting ready. And of course, we can easily forget Extreme Rules. And the time where we saw, of course, when Bray returned, he was wearing a mask. But he took that mask off to reveal Bray Wyatt. And I thought that was really clever. Looking back now, that was Bray taking the mask off and subtly saying, I don't hide behind a mask anymore. This is the new me. But that darker entity wants him to put that mask back on, or a new mask, or whatever new incarnation we potentially see from Bray Wyatt, and keep that mask on. Do bad things. You don't have to take it off, right? You don't have to suffer the consequences. You don't have to feel guilty. And I thought that was a good nod to Extreme Rules. Looking back now, I think that was the message. I'm not giving in to this dark entity. Mask off. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be the real me. He even said that in his first promo since returning. So many questions. As always, get down in the comments section. Share your thoughts and opinions. Any little nuggets of information that I might have missed along the way. We could dissect this in loads of detail, but in a nutshell, I feel like the darkest entity, one we've never seen before, a higher power than the Fiend, is now trying to control Bray and get through to Alexa in some way. That's the gist of it that I get. Some split personality gimmick from Bray. It's absolute genius. Only Bray Wyatt could pull this off the way he has, and it's made for captivating viewing. It's been absolutely fire to watch this as of late. And it's starting to progress quite quickly now. Big question, of course, is this going to tie in with Survivor Series and War Games? I've got a separate video on that coming out very, very soon. I had to make some changes to the original video because there's so many new developments, and of course Bray came back to WWE, so that sort of changes things moving forward, but we'll have to see. Thank you for watching the video. As always, be really appreciative if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new.